Hello, 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 everyone. It is Teresa from Teresa's Spot for Art, where I love showing off from my heart and teaching you how to create a little joy in your life through some fun, simple, and quick art projects. I feel like it has been ages since I've been live, and it probably has. So I have not scissor hands, I have wine glasses. I'm going to be painting. I'm going to turn you guys around a little bit. So just before we get started, I love painting on glass. I think glass is very forgiving. The trick to painting on glass or hard plastic is that you need to clean everything with rubbing alcohol. Regular alcohol, from Rite Aid, drugstore, Walmart, CVS, whatever it is, paper towel, clean cloth, whatever. You want to get off all the dirt, grime, oils that may be on your fingers, whatever. And I have already done that. Then I'm using folk art enamel paints. I like the enamel paints. I like the way they go on. I like the way they last. And I recommend hand washing anything that is glass or hand painted. However, I put mine in the dishwasher. Yes, I put mine in the dishwasher, but I do not recommend you putting yours in the dishwasher. So I just have a couple of colors out. I'm going to add my other camera to here. Let me see. Put me back, and then solo. There we go. Okay. So I actually have 4 glasses here, but because I'm going to paint them simultaneously. This is a little bit, it's a dosing cup from I don't know what, but this is a little bit what's called flow medium. It's used with enamel paints. I use it because when I use enamel paints, I don't use water. I will tend to use multiple brushes. But I've gotten this out because I'm going to use it to thin up my paint a little bit, and it helps strengthen the paint a little bit. So here I am. Oh, you guys can't see that. Let's see if I move this down, if you guys can see it. There we go. Okay. So I will change my brushes a lot. Let me get a little bit more. And I don't use water with enamel paint. And water with enamel paint makes the paint yucky. So I'll either, if I need to use that brush again, I will really, really dry it, or I'll just use a different brush. Okay, so I got my liner brush nicely loaded. I'm going to pick up some of this other green. I'm going to start making some greenery for the background. When you hop on, say hi to me. Let me know where you're calling from. Let me know where you're calling from. Let me know where you're watching from. Your first time. I am live right now on the YouTube and my Facebook page. So you never know who is watching, who is hopping on, who is hopping out. And I'm just using 2 greens. I have a citrus green and a thicket. And I'm just using both of these right now to create a little background greenery on what is going to be some pine cone glasses. I like painting on these stemless glasses. I feel like sometimes if you're careless, you'll be more apt to break a wine glass that has a stem on it than a stemless one. And then if you use these glasses for collections, they're very large. If you use them for actually wine, they are still large, and you get a pretty big pour out of them. So that's where we're at. So now I've painted on these 3 lines. They don't look like much right now. I'm going to dip back into my liquid here and thin up a little bit more of my green paint. So we have just gotten back from vacation. If you saw my reels or my shorts, you will see that we were in Jamaica and we had a great time. Okay, now I'm just going to paint on here some pine needles. I pick up both colors of green, dark green, light green, and I just work my way up. These are going to be in the background. Most of them will be covered up, but that still doesn't mean that we don't want to paint them on and do a decent job. But if you mess one up, you don't need to fret about it because, like I said, they're going to be all covered up with pine cones. So you're not even going to see them. You'll see a little bit sticking out, but that's about it. I'm using this really long liner brush. It has a lot of spring to it, and it bounces right back. If I start losing my little pointy edge, I just go back into my paint and I roll it a little bit and we have it back. So there we go. So I did 3 lines, but I'm going to do the horizontal one, then the vertical one, then I'll go back and do the middle one. So it'll be right over the top. If you have any questions, you can pop them in the comments and I can come back and answer them later on. And almost every time I go back, I'm picking up both colors. If it gets too dark, I'll add a little bit more light. If it gets too light, I'll add a little bit more dark. And I just keep going back and forth. When you're painting on glass, you want to make sure that your first layer is dry, because if you start painting over, you're going to start lifting your paint and you're not going to be happy with the results. Also, you're not going to get the same coverage on glass that you would on wood or ceramics or hard plastic. So don't expect your paint to have the same opaque coverage that it would on canvas. Wood on canvas or a darker, more solid surface. Painting on paint is always going to be a little translucent unless you want to do multiple coats. And if you're going to do multiple coats, you definitely have to wait for your paint to completely dry in between. So I have the greenery on there on one. Oh, don't need that. Okay, sorry. And then I'm going to paint the greenery. While that greenery dries, I'm going to paint the greenery on another one. But then I will get to my pine cones. Usually when I paint ornaments or wine glasses or something small like this, I will do multiples at once. It's so much easier and quicker. You have all the paint out and you just keep going. And I'm just doing teeny tiny little strokes. My brush was starting to get a little thick, so I went back, rolled it up, and started over. I have multiple videos on my YouTube for painting ornaments and some fun Christmas designs and even other glasses. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do. So you'll be notified. If you get notified from YouTube, you'll be notified every time I go live. Or even post a video. I currently have over a combined 400 videos and shorts on my YouTube channel. Some of my videos even have tracers and supply lists to them. If you come across one that doesn't, just pop it in the comments and I will get you a tracer if I can. And again, you don't want to go over your paint, so I am doing the horizontal one and the vertical one first. And then I will go back and do the center one that goes on the diagonal. Plus, I like painting my glasses together. I sell my wine glasses in sets of 4 or 2. And when I paint 4 or 2 together, they're more likely to have all the shading. They always have the same colors, but they're most likely to have all the complete shading and shades and variations together because I will be mixing my brush and mixing my paint the exact same way every time. If I paint 2 wine glasses today and 2 wine glasses tomorrow, I would be able to tell that they were different and that they were painted at different times. I don't know that the average person would, but I would. Also, when painting on glass, a little bit of paint goes a very long way. I might add a couple of little white streaks or yellow in these real quick because I'm going to get out my yellow and my browns now for my pine cones. The plan is to come in here and put pine cones over these. So I'm just going to wipe this off really good. I'm just going to go into my white a little bit. And I'm just going to add a few little white highlights. Just some sporadic. A couple here and there. Just to give a little bit of highlight. So there we go. There's one. And then 2. You don't want to put too many. We don't want our white taking over. That's it. Then I am going to put this in water because I'm probably done with my liner brush for now. Okay. Then I'm going to go to, let me get some browns. I think this is burnt sienna. So I have burnt sienna, burnt umber, this is moon yellow. It's like a goldish yellow. I don't like to overuse that one. And then I have, let's see, sunflower, school bus, lemon custard. I'm going to use my lemon custard. I have this much more paler yellow. Oh. Then I do have another color up here I'm going to use. I don't have this in enamel, but it's only a detail color, so I am going to grab it from up here. Iced coffee? No, not iced coffee. Here it is, cafe latte. But I'm only going to use a little bit of it. It's more of a highlight color. Okay. And I'm going to get my filbert brush. And again, I'm going to dip it in the floating medium. Get that nice up and in my bristles. Then I'm going to go into my brown paint. Brown. And I'm just going to add a little bit of this lighter color onto my brush. I want both of my pine cones to start about here. So I'm going to add the first little nodule. And then I'm going to start layering them in. And as I layer, I'm picking up the other colors. So whether that's the dark brown, and then this burnt sienna, or a little bit of yellow. And as I work my way up, I also want my pine cone to get a little wider. So up top, at the tip, I started with 1, then maybe I added a row of 2, then a row of 3, and as I work my way up to the top here, where it meets in with the greenery, my pine cone has gotten from thin to thicker. And I'm going to start down here on the next one. I'll come in here with the 1, add a few more, and there's no rhyme or reason. There's no pattern. I'm just randomly picking up these other colors as I work my way up towards the top. And then I'm going to get my liner brush. I'm going to put a 1 stem. And we're going to put in 2 stems. And there we have our pine cone glass. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching that. I'm going to move on and paint the rest of these. Have a great day, everyone.